arsonists also tape themselves as werewolves and vampires.
In the era of YouTube, it's not hard to stumble across some frightening videos while you're deep down a late night YouTube rabbit hole, and oftentimes some of those creepy vids are uploaded by folks that happen to stumble across a camera, a tape, or even a nanny cam that was abandoned or disposed of. So today we've compiled a list of some of the scariest. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your host Lucy McPhee, and today we're once again joined by the lovely Kelly Powley. Say hi, Kelly.
Hi friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm also very conscious of all the weird things I just did with my face in that introduction that she just did.
It was wonderful, and I can't wait to see it.
A lot of expressive, you know?
That's very you.
Yeah.
So people were a big fan of our last collab.
That's true.
You
guys were like, hey, those two are doing a video together and it wasn't terrible. Let's maybe see some more. So we're like, hey, I guess let's do some more.
I guess. I can tolerate her in small amounts. 5 minutes. 5-minute videos. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and leave us a comment down below telling us what the scariest video is that you have ever seen. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video where we'll be reading out some of your comments. So without further ado, let's jump into our list of the top 5 scary lost tapes that will keep you up at night. In at 5, Creepy Camcorder. This lost tape was uploaded to YouTube by Joaquin Baldwin in April of 2016. It documents his 1994 trip to Paraguay with his family, but the tape contained something a little more frightening. Years later, Joaquin converted the VHS tape to digital to finally view the footage that he hadn't seen in years. However, he discovered that his cousins had recorded over parts of the tape, and it got real weird real fast. Take a look. Yup, that's horrifying. The incessant dog barking, the weird children, the man sleeping, it's all bizarre, and honestly what I really want to know is which is the original footage and which is the footage that the cousins captured. Either way, it's all pretty fucked up. I think somehow the tape was damaged or the digital copy was corrupted because the audio and video are blended together, creating some warped trans-dimensional shit. If you haven't watched the full thing and want to be creeped out, I suggest you go watch it now.
And at number 4, Log Cabin. Now this 1988 VHS footage was discovered in an isolated abandoned log cabin, deep in a Polish forest. Though the tape was badly damaged, some footage was salvaged, and this is what remained. Only 24 seconds in and this video is legitimately horrifying. Why? Well, because that man's just chewing like he was raised in a barn. Honestly, there is nothing that I hate more than an aggressive chewer. Like Lucy, she chews like really loud every time she's eating pizza. It's like
that's a filthy lie.
The video goes on to show the man filming the door to a cabin before panning the camera around the room, while of course continuing to breathe like he just ran a marathon and chew like he is Lucy McPhee. Now I will say the anticipation is what makes the footage truly terrifying. The noises, the slow pans, the darkness, and of course, the cabin door. It's all eerie and clearly, well, hopefully, leading up to a big reveal. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on here because it's so dark, but it looks as though the man pans over to a window before the audio begins to get severely distorted. And at around the 1 minute mark, things finally take off. Cries of a child can be heard, and the audio begins to glitch even more. Man becomes more and more distressed, moving the camera quickly around the room, and that's where it ends. There's no final jump scare, we're just left with the cries of an unknown child and the panicked man looking to escape. So, how legitimate do you guys think this is? I mean, like, personally, I'm totally calling iMovie Maker, but that's just me.
In at 3, Satan's Bridge. To begin, this video is titled Satan's Bridge Footage, 1999 to 2000, and the uploader writes, I quote, "Video documentation from the year 2000 of large amounts of dead animals placed in a ditch near State Line Bridge, aka Satan's Bridge, in Cascade, Virginia. spooky stuff. So the video shows pretty much exactly that. A guy called Chris begins filming a bunch of carcasses amongst a pile of litter. He explains that he watched the bridge for several nights but never saw anyone disposing of any carcasses. Theorized that it could be someone disposing of roadkill, but could also be the remains of animals used in a ritualistic ceremony, considering the condition of the carcasses as well as where the remains were found. You know, under Satan's bridge. Perhaps it's even students from the local high school experimenting with satanic practice. Either way, the footage is creepy and quite disturbing. Take a look.
It could also be speculated that the animals were killed in some sort of ritual sacrifice, considering it is called Satan's Bridge.
Moving on to number 2, abandoned building. Now, I have no idea where or when this footage was discovered, but the beginning of the video simply says it was found on a VHS tape with 1999 scrawled on it in pen. That sounds safe and wonderful. I'm already creeped out. The video begins with a beautiful scenic shot of some trees. The person filming is clearly inept with a camera, so it gives you some serious vertigo, unfortunately. They wander around for a little while, filming a creepy looking building before heading towards an even creepier wooden shack. That's when things begin to get intense. The sound becomes loud and muffled, almost like you're entering the gates of hell, or moments away from being possessed by a demon. Subjective, really. The footage then cuts back to the first building we saw before we quickly zoom in on a blacked out window, and of course, cue the gates of hell audio once again. Ah. They then head towards the doors of one of the abandoned buildings before the screen begins to violently glitch out, revealing a figure in the distance. It gets closer. The person filming starts running, heading up the stairs and into one of the buildings, and a few more glitches and intense audio cues later, the guy seemingly escapes. But I want you to take a look back at the shot of the shadowy figure. Is it just me, or is that Slender Man? I mean, really, this whole video kind of reminds me of the Slender video game, so, you know, Slender's on topic, it's trending and shit.
And finally, in at number 1, Arson! In Redwood City, California in 1987, the town was plagued by a series of brutal arson fires. The police had no leads, no motive, and to top it off, there was never any evidence left behind by the culprit. So, the police closed the case.
However, 2 years later, a local farmer discovered a creepy videotape containing footage of a few of the arson fires, and the creepy voice of a man reveling in what he had done. The voice is quiet and often nonsensical, but it's clear in his voice that he is overjoyed at the chaos that he caused. He watches each house burning until they are complete nothingness. How bleak.
Very bleak.
Very bleak.
Sad times.
Yeah.
The police ended up releasing the tape to television in hopes of garnering some leads or persons of interest. One person even going on to describe that the flames and the carnage are the equivalent of a sexual turn-on for the arsonist.
Gross.
After releasing the footage, the police managed to track down a group of teenagers responsible for the heinous crimes. And creepier still, they discovered more tapes.
It showed the teenagers had filmed newspaper headlines of every crime they committed, which added up to over 60 other arsons. They also recorded themselves dressed up as werewolves and vampires in a very frightening clip.
The arsonists also taped themselves as werewolves and vampires.
One detective goes on to explain how the primary arsonist, upon his arrest, was very quiet and withdrawn, eventually breaking down completely, showing that he was just in fact a troubled teen in need of psychological help. Well, there we have it. What did you guys think? How many spooked you, and were there any that you're calling fake on? Leave us all of your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. But before we go, we just want to read out a few comments from our last video, Top 5 Teenagers Who Turned Themselves into Plastic Part 2.
Are we talking like they turned themselves into Barbie dolls, or just like plastic surgery? Because I'm thinking
surgery, but there was a guy that turned himself into a human Ken doll. Into the Mind of Jax 1975 had a really fantastic comment. They said, as a parent of teens and a person living with a terminal illness, I understand the why, but as a society we are not treating the issues, and plastic surgery is not the answer for anyone. Only in cases of trauma like accidents or because of tumors or disease, plastic surgery should be considered. The fake, unrealistic and materialistic goals of some celebrities of all genres and media, as well as genetics, the media itself, and unrealistic realities of what real life really is, as some issues that are systematic around the world. I lost my friend to suicide 28 years ago, and now my daughter suffers from depression, body image disorder, and comes from a loving home, but a world which is judgmental. Thanks for doing this video, Lucy. Even if it's meant to be entertainment, it's a great eye-opener. that is very real and very sad. Hashtag you matter just the way you are. Thanks on behalf of us who deal with this as patients, caregivers, EXO.
Damn, that was a great comment.
It was.
Yeah, it's rare to see really thoughtful ones like that, I'll say that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't agree more. In the era of social media, the celebrity culture puts unnecessary pressure on teens to look a certain way, giving teens severe issues like body dysmorphia and even depression, leading in some cases to suicide. It's tragic. As a mother of teens, we really appreciate your comment and your outlook on this negative trend, so thank you.
Alright, Marcus said, a person's thoughts and actions are everything, and how they look is not really important. Sadly, society emphasizes the physical image. Teens who want plastic surgery should get therapy first.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I agree and disagree. Therapy's not for everybody, but everybody's different, so I mean, you kind of have to go to a doctor and like talk to someone first and decide like what is the best route for you.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, jumping the gun about surgery. Because like also, you never know when you get a doctor who's gonna botch that shit.
My thoughts were, I do agree and disagree as well. I think going to therapy is probably the first thing they should do. But at the same time, it's like, even though the outside shouldn't reflect you as a person completely, I think loving yourself and how you look is very important to a lot of people, and that is what brings them happiness sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to each their own, but. Well, thank you once again to Kelly for joining us today in Top 5. We know you guys love our collabs just as much as we do. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.